Do you know that no matter how much one tries to escape after committing a crime, the truth cannot be suppressed forever? One day or another, the truth comes out. As times are changing, investigative methods are also evolving. Agencies are efficiently using technology in case investigations. Today's case is also based on such technology, artificial intelligence. How did AI reopen a cold case? How did a mother wait for justice for decades? Criminals often go unpunished, but then a ray of hope emerges. Hello friends, how are you? Today we are going to talk about the Ranjini Anchal case. This incident begins in Anchal, a town in Kollam district, Kerala. This urban town has a locality called Aram, where a small family lived in a rented house. The incident dates back to February 2006, but even today, in 2025, people still talk about it. You will soon understand why. In this house lived an elderly mother, Santama, her 24-year-old daughter, Ranjani, and Ranjini's twin daughters, who were just 16 to 17 days old. This was a family of 4. Ranjini and Santama were overjoyed with the birth of the twin daughters. The babies were yet to be named. Their birth certificates were to be made. There was a lot to be done. On February 10, 2006, around 11 a.m., elderly Santama went to the Anchal Panchayat office to inquire about getting birth certificates for her twin granddaughters. At home, only 3 people remained, Ranjani and her 2 infant daughters. By 11:30 a.m., when Santama returned home from the Panchayat office and opened the slightly ajar door, she was horrified by the sight in the living room. She immediately screamed, cried, and rushed outside, calling for help from neighbors. Hearing her cries, people quickly came out of their houses. A ward member who was passing by also stopped. Santama was trembling with fear and pointed towards her house. When the ward member and villagers entered, they were equally shocked. Ranjani lay on the floor of the living room, covered in blood. Her body had deep wounds, and blood was still oozing from multiple parts. A slit mark was visible on her neck, indicating a sharp weapon attack. Some people peeked into the bedroom, only to find the lifeless bodies of the 17-day-old twin daughters on the bed. Their throats had also been slit. Panicked, the villagers immediately informed the police. Soon, officers from the Anchal police station arrived at the scene. Santama, seeing her daughter's condition, fainted and was rushed to a nearby doctor. Meanwhile, the police informed their seniors. The then Circle Inspector, CI Mr. Sunmash, took charge of the case. A murder case was registered against an unknown assailant, and an investigation began. By examining the bodies, the police estimated the murders had occurred an hour to an hour and a half ago, as the blood was still fresh. The bodies were sent for post-mortem to the government hospital. One thing was clear. The murders were not committed for robbery, as no valuable items were missing from the house. There were no signs of forced entry either. This was 2006, and in rural areas CCTV cameras were uncommon. Mobile phones were also not widely used. So the police resorted to old-school investigative methods, questioning people. The villagers were asked if they had seen any strangers near the house. The case was significant, as 3 members of a family were murdered in broad daylight. Fear spread among the villagers. During questioning, a neighboring family revealed that just before Santama's cries, they had heard a 2-wheeler passing by. At that time, cars and motorbikes were not common in villages. Most people used bicycles. That's why the sound of a 2-wheeler caught their attention. While searching the house, the police found an RC book, a registration certificate of a vehicle. This document provided a crucial lead. Meanwhile, Santama regained consciousness. The police began questioning her. Ranjani had previously lived in Alman, Kollam, where she studied and did small jobs. Santama and her husband had divorced years ago. After the divorce, the husband abandoned Santama and the children and remarried. Santama worked hard alone to raise and educate her children. Santama initially lived with her elder daughter in Ranakulam, while her younger daughter, Ranjani, stayed in Alman. In Alman, Ranjani had a neighbor named Divil Kumar, an army soldier posted in Pathankot, Punjab. When he visited home, he often met Ranjani, and their interactions gradually turned into friendship and then love. Ranjani was very close to her maternal aunt, Lalitama, who lived in Kannanur. She used to share all her secrets with her. In September-October 2005, Ranjani confided in her aunt that she was 6 months pregnant. Lalitama was shocked. Ranjani further revealed that the father of her unborn child was Divil Kumar. She had realized her pregnancy only after 6 months when her body started showing changes. Ranjani confronted Divil Kumar, urging him to marry her since she was carrying his child. She believed he would accept her and they would live happily with their baby. However, Divil Kumar refused to marry her and insisted that she abort the child. He began distancing himself and pressuring her to terminate the pregnancy. Ranjani was unmarried and pregnant, a scandal that, if exposed, could bring disgrace. So all conversations regarding this matter were kept discreet. Ranjani later decided to confide in her mother Santhama. First, it had to be explained. Initially, they did not believe it. She fled from Kollam and went to Ranjani. She was very angry with her daughter, scolding and rebuking her. Seeing Divil's actions, she felt that he had deceived her daughter with false dreams, taken advantage of her, and exploited her physically. Because of this, she even went to Divil's house and spoke to his family. At that time, Divil had already left for his duty in Pathankot. However, instead of understanding, Divil's family started questioning Ranjani's character, accusing her of various things. Gradually, this matter spread throughout the village. Eventually, the mother had to take her daughter away from there. They moved to Thiruvananthapuram, away from their acquaintances and society, as people in their village were speaking ill of her daughter. Divil had deceived her by promising marriage and then fled to Pathankot. He never returned home, and his family even started threatening Santhama and Ranjani. Divil had even suggested that Ranjani should abort the child. Ranjani's mother also believed that they were not in a position to take care of the child and that abortion was the best option. However, Ranjani was determined to bring her child into the world and raise it. Later, her mother took her to a doctor for a checkup. By then, she was already 6 to 7 months pregnant. The doctor advised against abortion as it was too late. It was also revealed that Ranjani was carrying twins. The doctor even provided an estimated delivery date. A mother is always a mother. Santhama was admitted to the ST hospital in Anantapuram. As soon as they were admitted, a man came to the hospital. He went to Ranjani and told her that if she needed blood during delivery, he was ready to donate. This man was very friendly with Ranjani and Santhama. He stayed around them in the hospital, bringing medicines prescribed by the doctor from the medical store. But who was this man? Where did he come from? Why was he helping so much, even offering his blood? Ranjani and Santhama asked him about himself. He introduced himself as Anil Kumar from Kollam. He had come to the hospital for some work and upon seeing them, felt a sense of connection. That's why he started a conversation. Over time, Ranjani and Anil Kumar became friends. He helped them in every possible way at the hospital, bringing medicines, offering money when needed. Santhama considered him a blessing from above. On January 24, 2006, Ranjani gave birth to twin daughters. Everyone was happy. Everything went smoothly. There were no complications and no blood transfusion was needed. After the birth of the children, Ranjani and Santhama shared everything with Anil Kumar. They told him how Divil had abandoned Ranjani after taking advantage of her and fleeing. Anil reassured them, promising to support them and help them get justice. After the delivery, Ranjani and Santhama planned to return to their village in Kollam. But Anil suggested otherwise. He warned them that people would gossip, saying that an unmarried woman had returned with twin daughters, which could affect both the children's upbringing and the mother's well-being. Following his advice, Santhama rented a house in a village called Anchal, a few kilometers away. Anil reportedly helped them find the house. From the hospital, Ranjani directly moved into this house with her children. People in society continued to question Ranjani's character, accusing her of defaming Divil Kumar, a soldier, just to force him into marriage. Tired of these false allegations, Ranjani and Santhama wrote an application to the Kerala Women's Rights Commission. They pleaded that Divil Kumar, the father of the children, had refused to take responsibility. Where would they go? How would they raise the children? They demanded a DNA test to prove Divil was the father. Considering the social stigma, they had to take this legal step. Though Ranjini was ready to raise the children alone, Divil's family continued to question Ranjini's character. In early February 2006, the Kerala State Women's Rights Commission issued a directive that Divil Kumar must undergo a DNA test. If he was the father, he would have to take responsibility for the children. Meanwhile, Anil Kumar, the man from the hospital, continued visiting their house frequently. He tried to get closer to Ranjani, but having already been betrayed once, she did not want to suffer again. She ignored him and refused his advances. Fortunately, this issue did not escalate, and Anil backed off. As a friend, he continued supporting the family, visiting regularly to check on Ranjani and the twins. On March 10, 2006, Santhama was preparing to leave for the Panchayat office around 11 a.m. when Anil Kumar arrived at their doorstep. He met and spoke with Santhama, saying he had some work and would return later. He left on his two-wheeler, a scooter, which was common at that time. By 11:30 a.m., when Santhama returned home, she found her daughter murdered. Hearing this, the police's first suspicion fell on Divil Kumar, as he had a motive. Ranjani had filed a complaint against him for a DNA test. The verdict had also gone against him, meaning he would have to undergo the test. The second suspect was Anil Kumar, who had met Ranjini at the hospital and later formed a close friendship with her. The people of Anchal village had seen Anil visiting Ranjini's house frequently. The police later confirmed that Divil Kumar was in Pathankot on the day of the murder, on duty. So how could he be present at the crime scene? From the crime scene, the police recovered an RC book, vehicle registration certificate. Initially, it seemed like just a piece of paper, but it was the only clue they had. They took it to the regional traffic office, hoping it would lead them to the killer. The RC book could help identify the vehicle's owner. Perhaps the murderer had dropped it during the crime. According to the details on the RC book, the vehicle was traced to its owner, who had recently sold it. Since the vehicle was up for resale, all documents had been handed over to the dealer. A few weeks before the murder, the vehicle had been sold. The police visited the second-hand vehicle dealer's shop in Srikaryam. The shop staff revealed that two men had come to buy the vehicle. One was fair-skinned and clean-shaven, while the other had a beard. At that time, the police had no photograph of Divil Kumar. Santhama had only described his appearance to them. Surprisingly, the description of one of the men at the shop matched Divil Kumar. But who was the other man? One of the shop workers recognized the second man. A few days after buying the vehicle, he had returned to the shop and taken another worker with him to fix a flat tire. The police wanted to question this worker, but he was not at the shop. Those days, mobile phones were not common, so they could not call him immediately. Didn't go, where did he go, and when will he come back? Now a police team started visiting the shop daily, inquiring about the boy. Meanwhile, another team reached Divil's house. Sant Mama had given the address. It was discovered that Divil Kumar had not been home for several days. No one knew where he was. He had also taken leave from Pathankot until April and then disappeared. Somehow, the police used their sources to find out that Divil Kumar had recently attended a wedding function. A group photo was clicked there. This was the only available picture of Divil. His family was also not cooperating with the police, as there was no solid evidence against him. At the time of the murder, he was on duty, meaning he was not present in the area. Because of this, the police could not put much pressure on the family. Meanwhile, while frequently visiting Srikaryam's resale shop, one day, the police came across the boy who repaired punctures. After thinking for a while, he confirmed that one of the men who came to buy the car had taken him along to fix a puncture. The boy also mentioned that on the way, near Ulur Keshavdas Puram Road, close to a mosque, they had stopped at an ATM, where the man withdrew some cash before heading to get the puncture fixed. This turned out to be a crucial lead for CI Nawaz. The police went to the bank linked to that ATM and retrieved transaction details. Sitting with the bank manager, they scanned through thousands of transaction records. Eventually, they found a bank account from Pathankot, from which money was frequently withdrawn at the Ulur ATM. The account holder's name was Rajesh Kumar. Hearing the name Pathankot, the police immediately recalled that Divil Kumar was also posted there. But who was this Rajesh? Digging further into the bank details, it was found that apart from Pathankot, cash withdrawals had been made from Ulur, Nashik, Delhi, and Nagpur. Just before the murders of Ranjani and her 2 children, money was withdrawn from nearby locations. However, after the killings, withdrawals were made from different places. The last transaction was in Nagpur. The police investigated Rajesh and discovered that he was from Srikanthpuram, Kannur, and was an army personnel posted in Pathankot. It was revealed that since January 2006, he had been on leave. Both Divil and Rajesh were in the army and belonged to the same regiment. This established a connection between them. The police contacted army officials in Pathankot and shared all the details. When the army attempted to reach Divil and Rajesh, they found that both were missing and unreachable. In March 2006, they were officially declared deserters. The army faxed Rajesh's photograph from Pathankot to Kerala police, leading to both Divil and Rajesh's photos being acquired. When the police showed Rajesh's photo to Sant Mama, she was shocked. She identified him as Anil Kumar, the man who had visited the hospital and even helped them. He had also visited their home. This meant that Rajesh, posing as Anil, had tried to get close to Ranjani. Did Divil send him as part of a plan to monitor Ranjani's activities and eventually murder her? Sant Mama now understood why Anil, aka Rajesh, kept insisting on taking Ranjani away from her home. He wanted to isolate her so he could kill her. On February 10th, Rajesh overheard Sant Mama and Anjani discussing their plan to visit the Panchayat office, meaning Ranjani would be home alone. That day, Sant Mama had felt someone was outside. When she stepped out, Rajesh was standing there. He made an excuse and left. Once she was gone, he must have entered and committed the murders. During the post-mortem, DNA samples of the twin children were collected for profiling. A court order was issued mandating a DNA test at the Rajiv Gandhi Center for Biotechnology. Divil was absconding, and capturing him was now crucial. If the DNA matched, it would prove his direct involvement. The theory was that Divil had the children murdered to avoid responsibilities. Both suspects remained on the run. Kerala police exhausted all efforts to locate them. They monitored their families, hoping they would make contact. As time passed, no leads surfaced. Despite their relentless pursuit, the police found nothing. From 2006, time moved forward to 2010. Sant Mama filed a petition in the Kerala High Court, requesting the case be handed over to the CBI. Following the court's order, the CBI took over the case in February 2010. The CBI followed the same theory. Divil had ordered the murders to avoid financial responsibilities, fearing that if the DNA matched, he would have to bear all expenses. The CBI also searched for Divil and Rajesh. A reward of $50,000 was initially announced, later increased to $2,000 by the CBI. In 2013, they filed a charge sheet in Ernakulam court, but the suspects remained at large. All attempts to locate them failed, and the case gradually became cold. No further updates were available, and the case gathered dust in police files. Now, moving forward to 2023-24. During this period, Manoj Abraham served as ADGP, Law and Order, Kerala. He initiated a plan to solve old unsolved cases using modern technology. While reviewing different case files, he came across Ranjani's case. Although it was already with the CBI, Kerala police felt they should make an effort. A mother and 2 innocent children had been murdered. Justice was long overdue. ADGP Abraham discussed the case with his team. There were 2 suspects with existing photographs. The police used various AI tools to edit these images, simulating their likely appearances after 19 years. They created multiple versions, some with long hair, some bald, some with beards, some clean-shaven, different expressions, and other variations. These images were then reverse searched across social media. Months passed as they sifted through matches. Some searches yielded 25%, others 30%, 40%, or even 50% similarity. In November-December 2024, they found a social media account with a photo that matched 90% with the AI-generated image. The police decided to investigate further. Chennai unit was alerted. One day, a CBI officer called out the name Rajesh in a crowded area. One man turned around. Only him, nobody else. The CBI immediately knew he was Rajesh. By January 4, 2025, Rajesh was arrested. Under interrogation, he confessed to murdering Ranjani and her children. The same day, Divil Kumar was also arrested. The police and CBI's theory was correct. Divil had ordered Rajesh to commit the murders. After years on the run, they had settled in Pondicherry. Knowing someone there, they obtained fake identities, got new Aadhaar and PAN cards. Divil became Vishnu, and Rajesh became Praveen. They started an interior design business, bought land, built homes, and even got married. Their wives were school teachers. When the local police called Sant Mama to inform her of the arrests, she was at a temple. She broke down crying over the phone. Every day she had prayed for justice. Now, after nearly 20 years, the culprits were finally caught. They confessed their crimes. Sant Mama lived at the temple, doing small jobs to sustain herself. CBI sent Divil and Rajesh to jail. Now the trial would proceed. With this, the video concludes. Share your thoughts in the comments. Like and share this video. Subscribe to the channel and turn on the bell icon. See you in the next video. Thank you.